All right, so in this one, we're going to be looking at a trigonometric equation where you have to isolate the trig part first. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this sine of x part by itself first. All right, so this is kind of like a little two-step equation, sort of. It's kind of like you're solving one of these. That's all it's like. So I'm going to move the root 3 over. So I get 2 sine of x is equal to negative square root of 3. And then to get this part by itself, I'm going to divide by 2. Divide by 2. So now I have my actual equation that I want to solve. Sine of x is equal to negative square root of 3 over 2. Now from here, we can implement those little strategies from before. First thing, we need to remember what quadrants our answers are going to be in. All right, because sine is negative, because sine of x is equal to negative, I know I have to be in these bottom quadrants, where the y values are negative. All right, so you have to think, where does sine of x equal a root 3 over 2? Sine of x is equal to root 3 over 2 whenever the angle is like a 60-degree angle. Right? So we're looking for the third and fourth quadrant angles that kind of remind you of a 60-degree angle. That's what you're looking for right there. All right. So the fourth quadrant angle that feels like a 60 would be straight down. It'd be a reflection of it. So you see how this is, I don't know, I guess it's rather high. The 60-degree angle is like root 3 over 2 high. That's what that means, the sine part. So we're looking for where the root 3 over 2 part is low, that low. So that's going to be a 300-degree angle. And we also want that same angle in quadrant 3. So that's going to be the reflection across the y-axis right here, where it's got that same height, but negative. All right, so it's downwards, root 3 over 2. It's like the 30-degree angle would be a 1/2 is what that would be. It's up a little bit. We're looking for where the vertical part is, rather tall, root 3 over 2 tall. All right, so it's 300 and then 240. So those are our answers there. X equals 300 and x equals 240 degrees. Right, and then plus or minus 360 in degrees. Plus or minus 360 in degrees. If you wanted that in radians, let's see here. What would that be in radians? 300 degrees. Let's see here. Feel like that would be pi over 3. Yeah, that feels like a 5 pi over 3. 5 pi over 3 plus or minus 2 pi n. And then for the 240, that's going to be 60 degrees off of this one. So that would be 4 pi over 3 plus or minus the 2 pi n. Yep, 5 pi over 3 and 4 pi over 3. Good. So we got that one out of the way. So we just kind of solve for this sine of x part first. That's what we had to do there. All right, this one, we've got cosine of x on both sides. So what we're going to do, the part that we're solving for, we want to gather it onto the same side. I'm actually going to move this one to the left side first. So I'm going to add cosine of x to both sides. Cosine of x. All right, so they're going to cancel over here and just give me a 0. And then over here you have cosine x plus cosine x. That is going to be 2 cosine of x. All right, and now from here we're going to move the 1 over to the right side. And then we're going to divide by the 2. So plus 1 to both sides. And then we're going to divide by the 2. All All right, so we get cosine of x is equal to 1/2. Now, because cosine of x is equal to 1/2, because it's equal to positive 1/2, all right, and we're talking about the x values with cosine, that means our answers are going to be in quadrant 1 and in quadrant 4. So the quadrant 1 angle, where cosine is equal to 1/2, all right, that's equal to the 60-degree mark. All right, 60-degree angle there. So x is equal to 60 degrees. And if we want that same angle in quadrant 4, we've already done that one. All right, the same angle in quadrant 4 would be straight down from it. So it would be 300 degrees. Notice it's got what we were looking for cosine is we were looking for how far to the right it was. So this is just to the right a little bit. It's like a small portion of it. And so we're looking for the quadrant 4 angle that has that same feature, right? Instead of it being way out there like this 330 is, 330 is almost twice as far to the right as this 300-degree angle is. So 300 is our other answer. And then again, plus or minus 360 in. 360 in. All right, nothing to it.